Hi, I'm James Mather with the Hunt Blog, and thanks for tuning in to our second webisode of the season. We've got an action-packed webisode here, and ends with a really great hunt during the peak of the rut with pro staff Greg Mather, and he takes a nice big 10 points. So without any further waiting, let's get right into the action.
Good morning, October 16th. We're out of the spot we call the swamp today. Wind's no good for any of our killing sets we have at this spot. So I like to take my climber, and I'm sitting in an observation set in the edge of a cornfield. See if I can't get an idea where these big bucks are moving. Fortunately, it was a foggy morning, which kind of put a bit of a hiccup in that plan, but it's turkey season too, so maybe we'll be able to get one of those in the ground. Well, it's about 10 o'clock. As you saw there, we just had two nice 2.5-year-old bucks come in. I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to look at the footage when we get home to see. They were pretty close to being shooters. I don't know this time of year if I would have taken a poke yet or not. But in any event, I want to have a look at the footage and see if we have any history with these deer, either in trail camera photos or preseason filming. Either way, it's pretty exciting. Gets the blood flowing a little bit, and get me pretty excited for the rut that's going to be starting here in about 2.5, 3 weeks or so.
So seeing these two deer early in the season was pretty exciting. This is a spot I put a lot of time and effort into scouting in the springtime and during the summer, and we had a pretty good idea where the bucks were moving. One of the deer was a nice 2.5-year-old 7-point that I was hoping to get a poke at later in the season. I was pretty excited with this early action, but we still had some good October hunting to get in before the rut really kicked off.
Good morning. It's Saturday, October the 25th. It's a nice cool morning. We finally got the right conditions to get into the set I like to call the killing set. I haven't had a chance to get out at all year. Finally this morning the conditions are right. It's nice and cool. Low winds, had a new moon last night, so the deer should be moving during daylight hours today. So we're going to get out there and see if we can't get it done. Okay, see you in the tree stand.
October 25th, James Mather with the Hunt Blog here. I'm finally set up in my killing stand. It's a beautiful morning, conditions are perfect, so hopefully something comes in. Let's get on it. shot. I wasn't really sure if I was going to take him or not, and he didn't present me with a good, clean, ethical shot, so I decided to pass on him. Hopefully the video film turned out pretty good. He stomped around pretty good, came in actually right downwind of me and never even smelled me. So that's 1 point for the scent control system. Anyway, we're going to stick it out here for another hour or so, see if we don't see anything else come by. Stay with us.
This was a stand that we had hung just last year. It's actually a spot that we've been hunting for a few years, and we knew the deer traveled this area. It just took us a little while to pinpoint exactly where their travel patterns were. We think we got this stand hung in a pretty nice spot. For anyone who follows any of my posts on the blog, you know that I'm definitely a meat hunter more than I am a trophy hunter. So when this little 4-point came out, it really took a lot to hold off on him and let him walk past, and definitely something I knew I was going to be regretting later on this season when I was freezing my tail off in the end of December trying to fill my tag. But that's how you grow big deer in your properties. You let the small ones walk, so hopefully I was going to get a poke at a nice bigger deer later on in the season. So fast forward now to the end of October, beginning of November. It was our annual hunt blog weekend where we hunt the first weekend of the rut. It's usually a time where we see a lot of increased deer movement, and we're really hoping to get a couple of nice bucks on the ground. We had a couple of nice hunts there, and we'll get to the action there now.
It's November 1st. Bow hunting the rut down here in southern Ontario. It's a cold morning. Chance of snow today. Windy. But it's the rut, so anything can happen. We're watching the hunt vlog. Let's do it. Well, November 1st, you probably have a hard time hearing me. It's so darn windy. We sat all day yesterday in some less than ideal conditions. It was pouring rain. We didn't see any deer movement until right at last light. And then pro staff, James Williams, actually shot a nice doe. So we got some meat in the freezer, so now we're buck hunting. We've had some good movement this morning. As you saw there, I missed that young 8-pointer. I don't know. It wasn't good. I gambled thinking he was going to go in the woods and I wasn't going to get a closer shot, and took it a shot, clipped a branch. Anyway, that's that. Jim had a nice little 4-pointer go by him and took a poke at him, so we're going to find out a little bit later if he actually got him. But anyway, the deer are definitely moving. It's cold, feels like -5, north wind blowing right in my face, so let's see what we can do.
It's good. It's about 2 degrees Celsius. It's November 1st. There's no movement yet, but it doesn't mean they're not going to be moving. Hopefully, we have the wind against us. It's pretty windy, but we have the temperature in our favor, so it should be pretty consistent all day as far as the temperature goes, which I like. Yeah, keep you posted if we get anything.
Meh.
So as you can imagine, Jim and I were both pretty bummed about missing our deer that morning. We both had shots at nice bucks that we had on film, and you know, we were pretty bummed that we weren't able to get it done. But you know, that's hunting for you, and we still have a lot of good weeks left in the rut, and some good hunting still to come. Fast forward now to a couple weeks into the rut, we're going to catch up with pro staffer Greg Mather and the Caledon Hunt Blog crew. These guys put a lot of time in the stand during the rut, and I've been really trying to focus on a couple of big deer they had on trail camera. And they actually finally caught up to this guy. He's a big old 10-point that we had seen 2 years ago, but we hadn't really seen him at all this year on the trail cameras. We actually thought that he might have been taken last year by another hunter, but he showed up in this November morning, and we'll get to the action there and see how Greg does.
It's a nice big bodied 8-point out in the field. It's just come out here. Not sure of the time, I'm guessing it's about 8:30. Just out feeding in this wheat field. Don't know that he's gonna come over. But we'll see. Nice bodied deer. As you just saw, it's November 16th. Just smoked a really beautiful, I think it's an 8-point. Shot him at 30 yards. Came out this morning around, I want to say, 8:45. Walked over, bedded down in some pine trees, let him sit there for 2 hours. He just sat there, a big gust of wind came up, and I was thinking, well, if he's going to move, that's what's going to move him, and sure enough, wind came up, he stood up, walked out into the field, looked like he was going to walk off, so I grunted a couple of times with my Primo's grunt collar. I got his attention, so he stood there for a bit, went back to feeding for a bit, gave him 2 more grunts, that was it, lifted his head, and in he came in on a rope. Walked into my 30-yard marker and smoked him. I think I got him a little bit high, but it was a good shot. He went down, got up and walked off, but I don't think we're going to have any trouble finding him. He is. Got him. Down here. It's clear. one for the hunt vlog. First buck of the season for the hunt vlog. Alright, 1, 2, small tines, but he's a 10-point. Pushing on 1 tine, but still pretty nice, big bodied deer. Didn't get a pass through, but that rage still did the job. Alright.
Well, thanks again for tuning in to watch us with the Hunt Vlog here. We had a great time filming this episode. We still have about a week and a half left of the season. I've got a bit of vacation time, and I've still got tags in our pocket. So we've still got 3 guys who got to fill tags at the end of the year. So we're hoping to get another episode in. We've got a couple of nice big deer that we've been tracking on trail cameras, and we're just hoping that they're going to start to come out to the food plots a little bit earlier with this colder weather. Anyway, keep on sending your stories in, and we look forward to seeing and interacting with you at thehuntblog.com.